Hello, and welcome to 5 Minute Math. Today we are looking at the sixth grade concept of converting units. This is 6.4H Readiness Practice, the intermediate version. If you are interested in exploring the 6.4H Readiness Practice for the proficient or advanced versions, or the Readiness Practice resource line with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description. So we've got a 7 foot long piece of wood. We need 8-inch pieces, and so how many pieces can we cut from this wood? All right, so here is a representation. So we've got a length here, 7 feet, and we are trying to figure out how many 8-inch pieces we can cut from that. Now, what would be helpful is if we could convert units, because when we're dealing with feet and inches, those are different units. So what we need to know is that 1 foot is going to equal 12 inches. So if I've got 7 feet, right? So what we could do is we could think of this as 7 sets of 12. And so let's see if we can draw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, so they're not even. So we'll try that again. Didn't quite get the spacing on that one. There we go. That's a little bit better. So those are my 7 sets of 12 that I'm needing. 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. So I can reimagine my 7 feet, right, as 72 inches. And if I can do that, now I'm comparing inches and inches. So I'm just going to think, all right, so how many times can 8 inches go into 72 total inches? And that's going to be 9. And that's just a fact. So that's our answer, 9. So how many 8-inch pieces can he cut from the wood? We'll put it down here. He can cut 9 pieces. All right, so that is our answer. Emily is decorating a square bulletin board, 4 meters long. All right, so let's draw ourselves a square so we can visualize it here. And since she said, or since we learned it was a square, then we can say that each side is 4 meters. She wants to put a border around, so that's going to be perimeter. But look, it's centimeters. Well, first let's see what our perimeter is. So our perimeter equals 4 sets of 4. So that's going to be 16 meters. 4, 8, 12, 16. Now, the conversion we need to know here is when we're dealing with meters and centimeters, is that 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. So imagine I've got 16 chunks, and inside each of those chunks, each of those meter chunks is 100 centimeters. So it's 16 sets of 100, so I can take my 16, and I can say each of those has 100, so I can multiply by 100, but I also remember the pattern that if I multiply by 10, 100, 1,000, right, I'm just adding zeros. So really, it's going to be perimeter equals 16 with those 2 extra zeros, or 1,600 centimeters. Let's put a green box around that. And then we've got Emma filling up her water bottle, 32 ounces, and we need to turn that into pints. Okay, so if we've got a water bottle, right, we'll just say this is our water bottle here, and this is 32 OZ. All right, so we're going to kind of work up to a much larger unit. All right, so we need to know that 8 ounces first equals 1 cup. So let's reimagine those 32 ounces as cups. So how many times can 8 go into 32? Well, that's going to be 4 times. So 32 ounces. So I'm going to write 4 cups on here, and they're equal. Okay, so 32 ounces is the same as 4 cups. I'm just using different units. Now, 2 cups equals 1 pint. That's what I'm trying to get to. So ounces go to cups, go to pints. If we wanted to continue, you go to quart and gallon, but we don't have quite a full gallon here. So for each of these 2 cups, that's going to equal 1 pint. So so 4 cups has got 2 sets of 2 in there, so that equals 2 pints. And we'll probably abbreviate it with PT right there. So 32 ounces may seem like a lot, but really it's just 2 pints. It all depends on what unit of measure you want to have. So we'll put 2 pints as our answer. If you are interested in exploring the 6.4H Readiness Practice resource aligned with the Proficient or Advanced version, or the Readiness Practice resource aligned with any other standard, you can find those by using the link in the video description.